Welcome everyone to today's episode of People Who Inspire. I'm excited to have Victor, who is going to share his story with us as we do every week. And my hope is that you can draw some inspiration from his journey. And today, as I always do, I try to focus on people whose vision, as I always say, would kind of spare some form of inspiration and motivation for all of you who are watching us from across the world. Victor, welcome to People Who Inspire. How are you doing this weekend?
I'm all right. I'm doing great by the grace of God.
Awesome. I'm really excited. I look forward to today's session because I've had lots of comments and people trying to understand who is this guy who wants to send Ghana to space. So yes, you are a very special guest. Yeah, and I'm
Thank you
really
so much.
excited to have you.
Thank you so much.
Awesome. So, can you tell us, let's say, a little bit about yourself and, let's say, up onto where you are today? You know, what are the various milestones? Where were you born? Where did you school? You know, what are your experiences so far? I know you're an IT person, so can you just walk us through, your background up until this point?
Oh, okay. So Victor Tagborloh is my name, and my dad is an Ewe, and my mom is an Ashanti. So basically, I grew up in the Brong Ahafo region. I think now it's called Ahafo. So that's where
Yeah.
I grew up. So basically, my mom and dad, siblings, we all living in Doma and Crew. Basically, for so many years since I was born. Then my mom have to travel outside the country. So I have to move in with my uncle at Kaswa. So back in what do you call it, Doma, I was attending school at Akap Complex School in Brekum. That was when I was so little. Back then, I didn't know what I was even doing, going back and forth to school and all that. So I actually discovered myself when I came to Kaswa to live with my uncle and the wife and my cousins. So I was basically attending Little Rock Academy here at Kaswa. So that is where I actually discovered myself. The school was actually good and we had good teachers back then. So I fell in love with science and mathematics. Back then we had a teacher who was Mr. Sozi. He has passed on. May his soul rest in peace. So he actually helped me to develop my love for science and mathematics. And also Mr. George Afeti. He was the computer lab assistant by then. He actually made me fall in love with computers. Back then, I think I was around 10 years. So we were just having clubs on campus, and I was just going to the computer lab. I virtually want to be in the computer lab all day because I really love what computers were doing and all that. And back then, we were playing this game called Prince of Persia and Mario. We were using Windows 95 on the computers. It was just,
Yeah.
yeah. So basically, that's when I fell in love with this computer thing, and I was very, very
I think your network has frozen. So, for those of you watching, Victor would join us in a jiffy because I think his video is frozen. But today we are talking about sending Ghana to space by 2030. Victor is an amazing person and he basically has a vision to prepare Ghana for space exploration. There has been lots of conversations around trying to improve the interest in STEM. And very few people like Victor exist in Ghana who are championing the very, let's say, neglected field of astronomy and space exploration. So today we are going to basically learn about his life, as he was sharing earlier, how he got into science, how he got into IT, and how an IT person all of a sudden decides to have this mission to send Ghana to space by 2030. So by this fascination and by the vision that he has, I thought I would bring him on the People Who Inspire platform to have him share what his vision is and what we can do to support this vision and whether it is really possible to do so. For me, I think that if you have a vision that does not bring out some degree of ridicule from the public, then that vision is not big enough. So I'm really excited that Victor has decided to come on the platform to share with us. I first saw Victor's post on LinkedIn. That's how I got in touch with him. And I realized that he's been very consistent over the years, posting about his vision and what he's doing to prepare Ghana for space exploration. Many people, especially from developing countries, do not appreciate the essence of such breakthrough, science explorations. And so hopefully Victor will be able to share a bit more about what he's doing. So I'm going to get back to Victor while I'm playing this music for you to enjoy. So yeah, I'll get back to all of you in a bit. Hello, Victor. Welcome back. I think we had some technical issues. Happy you're back. Can you hear me now?
Okay. Yes, I can hear you.
Okay. It seems
you're trouble with my internet connection.
Yes, I realize because even now I think your video is frozen, but that's fine. At least we can hear you. Yes. So I think you're telling us about how you got into the computers and how some teachers at the early stage of 10 were already kind of encouraging you to get into the IT lab. So maybe you can continue from there.
So my love for computer always grew all the time when I was in junior high school. So I quite remember I told my mom that I need a computer at home, else I wouldn't go back to school again. So my mom got this Pentium 3 computer for me, a desktop computer. So I was having it in my room and always just wondering how this thing works. Changing the desktop and also the screensaver and all that. It was kind of crazy, and Microsoft Word and all that. So that's how actually I got involved with this IT stuff. Then I think from there, then I went to school at St. Augustine's College in Cape Coast. So I
Oh,
was,
okay, nice.
so I'm an Absonian. So
Wow.
that's the Absonians and all that. So I was in science one. I was in
Oh,
science
okay.
one. So
And
I
how
really,
was your experience at Ogasco?
oh, it was really nice. It's the best moment in my life, and I'll never forget it. For the rest of
Wow.
my life, Ogasco really changed me and built me up for the future because it was very, very strict and disciplined. It's all about being disciplinarian and all that. You dare not flout rules and all that. So those days,
Wow.
were really, really disciplined. So back in Ogasco, I really fell in love for physics. So I really
Okay.
loved physics because I was very good with maths and calculations. So I was very good with my physics and all that. I actually liked chemistry and biology, but I really loved calculations, new acceleration and kinematics, serious math stuff, calculus. I really love
Wow.
math. So basically, at Ogasco, I was so much into physics that at a point in time, I really wanted to study. So even after preps, I even want to be in my books. I want to study. I just want to study thermodynamics, avionics, and
Yes.
Archimedes principles of law of flotation and all that. It was just crazy those days because I really loved physics. So some time ago, I even got punished for overstudying in the night.
You're one of those sharks, eh?
Yes, yes, yes. We were even beyond sharks. We were learning. So a friend of mine told me some time back that I was sleeping and I was even telling them Einstein's what they call it, law of relativity. I was just mentioning
Yeah.
it ahead and all that. I say, hey, what is going on there with me? I'm going crazy with this physics stuff. So I really love physics way back in SHS, and Gasco really built me up for the future. And after Gasco, I went to University of Ghana. Um,
Okay.
I was there for some time. Then I left to Pentecost University. So I
Okay.
actually
Okay.
completed my uni first degree at Pentecost University.
Pentecost. Yeah.
Yeah, so I did my BSc in information technology because
Mm-hmm.
Legon back then the students were many. So I was complaining that the students were many. They cannot have much at
And the
most of the
quality, yeah.
yeah, the quality was not there. So PUC back then really gave us the the, the the environment to get to know ourselves because the number was just few. So I had a good friends over there, and there too I developed my love for programming at level 200.
Okay.
Uh, we studied C++ and some Visual Basics.
Oh,
So
wow.
yeah, so that's how come my love for computing also grew back from GHS because back in St. Augustine's College we didn't have a good computer lab by then, so I really didn't have much using the computers at St. Augustine's College to the university. Pentecost University is a very good university. Everywhere
Yes,
I go, I
I've
talk to
heard very
people.
good. Yeah,
Yes,
I've heard very good
the training
reports.
too
Yeah.
we had over there, it wasn't easy. There's discipline in that school. So I'll recommend Pentecost University for anyone who actually want to build a dream. I said, place where dreamers go. So that is where I really discovered myself consciously, my conscious level, my spiritual life, and all that. Because you dare not mix college worship on Tuesdays. I think so. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's kind of crazy, you know. So Pentecost University empowering people. It's a very good place, and I really got empowered. So after uni, I proceeded to Scotland to study for my master's degree in computing at Napier
Okay.
University. So I spent quite some time in Scotland, and it was really exciting. because Scotland is one of the countries in Europe that is yet to be discovered. It's part of the United Kingdom, the four countries taking the United Kingdom, the UK, and all that. And
Yeah.
Scotland was a very good place that I always now forget. Scotland is like a home to me. I always go back there. So I spent some
Wow.
time in Scotland, worked for some companies over there in London, acquired some companies, and I also built some softwares for the Scottish Parliament for disabled people,
Oh,
actually. So
wow. I didn't know that. Wow.
yeah, so I was volunteering by then. I was going to Glasgow, between Glasgow and Edinburgh. I lived in Edinburgh.
Oh,
So
yes. I've heard of
until,
Edinburgh as well.
until I completed and I decided to do my PhD, came back to Ghana to do research, and I decided to just stop this whole research thing and become an entrepreneur.
Wow. Wow.
So,
It's a very like so when you first went to Scotland, I'm interested because I have not schooled abroad. So I always get these stories and I'm not sure if your experience was the same where, people always kind of compare the educational systems of, let's say, Ghana or most African countries with the West. Did you have any, let's say, sharp contrast that drew your attention that, oh, education here is completely different? Like, what's the difference between the kind of education you had in Edinburgh and then, what you had in Ghana?
see, the Western world, they believe in practical hands-on, even in most of the universities. You can study the theory, but the practical aspect is very, very necessary. So back in Scotland, and also they are very much particular about plagiarism and always checking the authenticity and originality of the content of your assignment and all that. And back here, we didn't really care so much about that. When I was in uni, you could actually go to Google and copy information and just put it out there.
Yeah, copy and paste.
Yeah, that kind of thing. So when I was in Scotland, I really faced some challenges because I thought that I could do whatever is being done here in Ghana and just reproduce it over there. So when I came for my level 100, I actually met the disciplinary committee because I was just copying and pasting on my assignment and all that. I really had some challenges over there. You see, because they really want originality of content, maybe assignments. So they have this
Yes.
system called Kenneton. So when you are
Anything,
submitting your
yes.
assignment, you have to just pass through them to check how many percentage and all that.
When it's
So,
red, you're in trouble.
exactly. So basically, that's the challenge I faced. And also here, the theory is just too much. I told myself that, hey, theory is just too much. You can tell somebody what is a computer, but if you don't know how a computer works, you basically don't know what a computer is. So
Yeah.
in Scotland, everything was just mostly practical. We had computer labs, a lot of computers, and the resources were there. You see, that's the thing. They're in the developed countries, they have the resources. Here we don't have. So we are just few and
Yes.
poor and all that, and we cannot really solve problems. Few and poor doesn't solve problems. We basically need our hands working with the mind. It's not always just about the mind. But if we get our hands together, I think we could actually solve some problems. So Scotland and some of the countries I've traveled to are really problem solvers. Here, we know the problem, but we don't know how to solve it. That's the problem.
Hmm.
That's the gap. That's it.
Yeah. And you said that, like you had some inspirations growing up, like from looking back, like who was that inspiration that really like drove you into IT? Was there any particular person who was
Yes,
that source of inspiration?
yes. I had a teacher called Mr. George Afeti at Little Rock. He really inspired me, and I'm always grateful to him. He was very, very good with computer. So he actually taught me computer, how it works and all that. So I'm very, very
Oh,
grateful to him.
wow.
Yes. Mostly we
And
don't
how
meet.
how old were you then?
Oh, I think I was like 10.
Oh, wow. So you knew
Yes,
about computers at that age. Wow.
yes. At 10, we were using Windows 95 and yes. Windows
Wow.
95. So that's the inspiration I got from Mr. Feti at Little Rock. And Little Rock, to the school itself, the director himself, he has passed on. He still rest in peace. He was very, very good with the teaching, the content, and all that. And we had clubs on campus. Back then at the GHS level, we had clubs. So you can join a drama
Okay.
club, can join the engineering club, can join there were a lot of clubs over there. So I actually joined that set of engineering, and we happen to have access to those computers. That's where my inspiration grew.
I mean, it's amazing how, you know, all the guests that I've had so far always have some person, you know, along the line when they were young who kind of either said something profound to them or inspired them, you know, in some way or the other. And I think sometimes we forget about such people. Imagine if, you know, this teacher you are referring to did not inspire you, you know, that much, you know, who knows where you would have been today.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I'm very happy that you're acknowledging, you know, such people. And when I looked at your profile, one thing I see, I mean, consistently is the IT, right? There has been some conversations around, you know, STEM education, especially in Africa, you know, before we get into galaxy and going to space. Like, what are your thoughts on how you think African countries can promote STEM education and kind of get the interest of the young generation?
You see, looking at the current trends, even in Ghana here, with the curriculum we have here, our country is not going anywhere. Our country is basically not going anywhere. The truth hurts, but you see, we have
that's
to
the truth. Yeah.
Yes, our country Ghana is not going anywhere. I'm just talking in terms of skill sets. Maybe other space, economics or other space, people can talk about it. But with the current curriculum we have in this country, in this 21st century, and the world is going up to type 2 civilization. We'll come to that type 2. Even we are at type 1 civilization in our galaxy. But we moving to type 2 civilization, we need the mind and the hands. Because basically here in Ghana, it's just all about the mind. All the shots we grew up, like when I was in my class, oh, this person was intelligent, this person was. Where are they? What problem have they solved? Too much PhD, too much masters, too much bachelor's degree. Why are we taking those certificates to? So what we have to do now is basically about skills. The theory can take about 40%, but our schools have to be skills-based. The STEM education have to really be, and the government have to really resource schools, and also have to regulate the private institutions that if you don't have a computer lab, we shall close down your school. You find out that with time, most of the private institutions will have computer labs. Please, I hope you are getting, so that the government can focus on getting computer labs in some. I know that it take time. The schools and all that, so that they can also take time to. But I think the community-based will also be fine with time. That our schools are also getting labs and all that. The community-based one will also be. That's what Galaxy is doing now. Community-based education, so that everybody, whether you go to a private school or a government school, you can actually access the what do you call it, the materials and the resources. Every school needs a computer lab. It should be by law. And Ghana, we are at an emergency crossroad because the generations coming are digital beings. They are not just human beings, but digital beings. And we need to provide the resources and the programs for them when they start coming out of the society, so that once they are born, the resources are there for them to develop their skills and fit in.
True.
So that is the problem now. We need skills, resource-based environment for the children to grow. Because looking at us, maybe 35, 34, 36, we grew up at a time whereby most things are theory based. You don't see robots
Yeah.
and all that. You see toys and they're
Yeah.
not moving. But this is the generation whereby computers have been integrated into robots, kind of mechanical movement and all that, which the younger ones have to really, really learn using resources, using Lego to be learning at a younger stage in the Monte Zero and all that. I think it will go a long way. It's all about the resources, and it's also about skilled, trained teachers. Because at
Yes.
the younger stage, the younger ones need to learn about programming. Learn about
Yeah.
programming. You see, there's a paradigm shift. Africa civilization is what the world is living on. Egyptian civilization, and we, our forefathers were in Egypt. If you read about history, black
Yeah.
civilization. I'm a very conscious person. I read a lot, so I know where I'm coming from. I know where I am. I know where the world is. I'm moving through the world to. So our civilization started in Egypt, and then it moved to Europe.
Mm.
From Europe, it moved to America. Now it is in Asia. So Asia, if you have realized, you look at Singapore, you look at China, you look at India. It's
Yeah.
all about skills because the
Yes.
European
Yes.
built Isaac Newton, uh, Isaac Newton and Albert Einstein. They started Tesla with theories and all that. America built
Yeah.
some part of it based on those physics theories and all that. Now the Asians are using it to build real life thing for us to see. Go to China. Every part of everything in our society is now coming from China. So after
Yeah.
China, India, Singapore, Taiwan, Japan, and South Korea, and the rest of the countries, what happens to us? What are you also looking at to also build on in the real world? So STEM education here in Africa, it should be embracing because there are a lot of kids coming now. They have good talent, and society needs to embrace them with programs and resources that will help them to grow to solve problems. At the end of the day, it's all about solving problems and
Yeah.
building our
Yeah.
society to a standard where human life can be appreciated. It's not all about money. It's about programs that solve societal problems.
Exactly, and I mean, I'm 100%. I mean, in agreement with you. And I think last week, I had a conversation with one of my guests, and I mentioned that the kind of problems that we are going to face in the future, or let's say our kids, our children's children, whatever, are going to face in the future, would require a unique set of skills that will make them adept to, first of all, identifying the root cause of those problems and having the skill set. Because you see, when you identify the problem, it doesn't end. You know, you've seen the problem. Okay, so do you have the skill set and the right set of tools to address and to solve those problems? You know, so I think this is where we need to, as far as STEM is concerned, like you rightly mentioned, we need to really focus on building the skill set by providing the needed infrastructure. And this brings me to your work with, you know, Galaxy IT Consulting. So I looked at your organization and I saw that there are two aspects. Maybe you can correct me if I'm wrong. There's an aspect that focuses on building the next generation, you know, of scientists. And I saw that you do a lot of work. I saw some work you're doing in Kaswa and all that, like community outreach, trying to get interest of kids into IT. I saw some kids, you know, behind wild computers that I never had opportunity to see. And then I see another aspect of your operations that is focused on sending Ghana to space. So I want us to first look at the programs you have for the kids, right? What really is the mission for that aspect of your operations?
Okay, so when we are talking about Galaxy IT Group, the company itself is called Galaxy IT Group. It's a conglomerate of about 14 companies. It's 14
Oh,
companies.
wow. Okay,
Yeah,
so I
so
didn't even know. I thought it was two.
yeah, no. It isn't
Wow.
to actually. uh, it hasn't been easy, because when I came
Wow.
back, I decided that I'm not going to go and work for anybody in any part of the
Okay.
world. Even though in UK, it's always like going back there to work for money and all that. I say, hey,
Mm-hmm.
build something here so that those coming here, they can really, really solve problems for the future. So I sat down to really look at the problems here in Ghana. Then I started to solve them by trying to get companies that can really move along with it. So I've 6 NGOs, and I have 9 limited liabilities, and some of them will be coming up with time. As in, when this one gets to a particular seed stage, then the
Okay.
other one will come in. But there are
We'll
other
follow.
ones that are, yes, and but the other companies, they are generational problem solving. Uh-huh.
Okay. Okay.
So,
Okay.
so basically, that's that. So I'll just talk about it in this thing. So when you talk about the NGOs, we have the Gazi Tech Foundation that focuses on community STEM education. So I hope you understand. So the Galaxy Tech Foundation is basically solving problems in a community based. So no matter the
Okay.
school you are going, public or private, you can actually join the Galaxy Tech Foundation. And we are at
Okay. Okay.
Blue Rose Estates, Goma Budumburam around Kaswa. So in
Okay.
future, we have a lot of community-based STEM resource centers that children can enroll. And for a period of 2 years, we are training them in the curriculum in which in the curriculum area that they want to become. So that's the focus. It's not like an outreach we go around, because IT, there should be a system and institution that the children can
Exactly.
access every day. Programming takes
Exactly.
time. You cannot just go to schools with computers and the next minute you're out there. You are just away from the place. The next time you go, the children will ask, "Hey, where are you from? Have you met you before?" You see?
Yeah. They don't even remember.
Exactly. But
Yeah.
teaching IT is not just anything about Microsoft Word, it's serious programming. So
Hmm.
that's what the STEM Foundation helps the NGO. Then we have Empire Mentorship Network. That one is renewing people's consciousness and awareness about personal development, career development, and organizational development. That
Okay.
one is online for now. That one in future will be going to the universities to have clubs, so that at least when you're in the university, you'll be aware of organizations, how to write CVs, presentation, interview skills, and all that, and how you also see yourself to face the outside world, like
Hmm.
vision, goals, purpose, planning, organization. So that one really builds people's minds and awareness. Uh-huh.
Okay.
Then the next one that we have is Desert Lions Club that focuses on cybersecurity for
Oh,
IT
okay.
people and all that. Then we have Ideas and Innovations Hub, that's entrepreneurship in IT. Then
Okay.
I think the next one is Galaxy Tech News. Very soon we will start blocking sites whereby we can actually put people in the tech space in Ghana, because most
Okay.
of bloggers and also most of the news channel does not focus on tech. Yeah, it's
Hmm.
always
It's
focused
always
on
about
the
gossip, and
yes,
all that.
logistics and all that. So we have to also create that space. So Galaxy Tech News will actually be out there, like what you are also doing, so that talking about the
Hmm.
news channels, we're talking about IT
Okay.
programs, and also bringing out the the tech hits, underground people who don't want to be known. We're talking about them and
Yeah.
what they're doing and all that. Because there are a lot of people out there, but our news space doesn't recognize them to promote people like that and their businesses. Then we have the Galaxy Tech Talks that to promote conferences and seminars for people to
Okay.
come and give talks, just like TED Talks. We'll be starting those very soon, so that we can actually be having regular programs every year for people, so that they could actually meet industrial groups in IT. When it
Okay.
comes to a lot of, I think there's this guy Joshua Opoku Ajiman. He's doing very well with IoT. So
Okay.
We've had a chat some time back. So people like this, we organize programs. They come, they talk about what they are doing and what are the benefits for society. So that's basically the NGO which will really solve problems. Then
Okay.
the other side too is the Galaxy IT group. We have the what do you call it? The solar origins that will solve problems of energy in the future. Then we have AI, Astra AI, and robotics that will
Okay.
solve that kind of AI and robotics problems. Then we have the Aerospace, Galaxy Aerospace Ghana, which we are championing now. That's the forefront of our organization. Then we have Digital Minds that will solve IT business solutions. Then we have Galaxy Drone Services, Galaxy Study Abroad. Then we have Galaxy Tech Lab, and I think that's it. So,
Wow.
it's
No
nice.
wonder it's called galaxies. That's
Yeah,
a whole galaxy.
yeah. All Galaxy on its own, but
Yeah.
everything will just take time. But the
Yeah.
aerospace is what we are championing at the other side, and the tech foundation to championing that at the other side. So basically,
Yeah.
that's it.
Yes, and I'm very much interested in the aerospace, which is the topic for today, because for me, I saw a quotation somewhere that if your dreams do not cause people to doubt you, or if your dreams do not cause people to think you are mad or crazy, then that dream is not big enough. One thing I've seen is that since I posted the flyers for today's session, a lot of people were commenting, is there really possible, and you can tell that many of us as Africans have kind of left the topic of space exploration and planetary science to the West. We think for some reason we are not either ready or we don't have what it takes to do so. So my question to you, right, is with the Galaxy Aerospace, right? First of all, why do you want to send Ghana to space, right? And for those of my audience who are watching, what really is the driving force? What is inspiring you to do this? Because this is so unique and I've not heard it from anywhere else.
Back to GHS, I was really into the solar system. I've always loved astronomy. Astronomy always inspires me. So I learned about the planets at a younger age. At the age of 12, I
Okay.
always read about it. So when you come to my room, you could actually find drawings of Saturn, Pluto, Jupiter in my
Wow.
room back then. So I was just crazy because I'm a practical human being. I don't like to read when I was growing up, but now I do because I'm a practical person. When I paste something on the wall, it just flashes in my mind, just like that kind of modeling
Okay.
kind of delivery person. So I'm very good with my hands and my mind. So when I
Okay.
was young, I remember a man telling my mom, I think at the age of 5, that I was going to take people to the skies. I think when I was at the age of 5, I quite remember a man who lives in our neighborhood. I don't know whether he was a prophet or a soothsayer, I don't know. I told my mom that I was going to take people to the skies in the future. So I don't actually know. Maybe that's where my interest, or maybe that is my purpose in this life. But I've
Yeah.
loved astronomy and space science ever since I became conscious of myself. So taking Ghana to space is just to inspire the next generation. I think that's just the bottom line. To inspire Africans, to inspire Ghanaians, the younger generation coming, that this is their time. This generation is their time, and the sky is their playground, space is their home, and the sun is where we come from. So basically, NASA took years to take us to the moon, mankind. It's about time Africans and Ghanaians also take this stride to go to space for inspiration. That because looking at where the world is going now, people think that money solves problem. Money doesn't solve problem. And people don't need money to leave poverty. People need to be inspired to leave poverty. We have a lot of young people leaving tech, mechanical engineers, computer engineers, electrical engineers. You ask yourself, aerospace engineers, physics, people go there to study physics and mathematics. Where are they? Where did they go from here after school?
Yeah.
Aerospace, you study aerospace at Tech. Where else? Apart from the Ghana Armed Forces, where they have this place where those choppers, I mean the helicopters are. You go there and do some engineering. There's nothing in Ghana. There's no place in Ghana for pilots, for people to study piloting or aeronautic or astronautic. It's so sad. Growing up, this has always been in me that, so assuming something happens here in Ghana, where are the pilots who are going to take us from this country? Assuming there's a disaster.
Yeah, so that's a good question.
There's no problem. And the whole of Africa, even not Nigeria, who has the largest population and one of the richest countries in Africa, it's only South Africa that have that facility for training pilots. So the whole Africa is South Africa, according to my research. Maybe if other nations to have started training pilots, that's fine. But if you want to learn piloting, how to move a plane, helicopters, it has to be South Africa. And it's sad. It's very, very, very sad. So
okay, so I think Victor's network is messing up again. So I would definitely try to get him back. So if you're watching today's episode of People Who Inspire, we are talking with Victor, and Victor is the founder and CEO of the Galaxy IT Group. He's also the one championing the whole agenda and mission to send Ghana to space by 2030. And he's just talking to us about his journey, how he got his inspiration to get into IT, and the fact that he believes that going on this journey to send Ghana to space by 2030 would be a source of inspiration. And I completely agree with him because, society today is full of all the negative things that are not going, that are happening, and all the things that are not going right. There's a lot of news, there's a lot of negative energy. And so sometimes it's so hard to find the inspiration to pursue something as significant as Victor is doing. And so for me, I completely, agree with the fact that we need something to inspire us. We need something to push the frontiers of what we know, of what we've accepted as being the status quo. I mean, the status quo has always been go to school, study engineering or science related programs, or study to become a lawyer. He decided to basically have this vision to send Ghana to space, and he's doing so on the quiet, but he's making a lot of strides. So I hope to get Victor back on the screen in a bit. And if you're watching this, please feel free to send through your questions. If you have any questions, you have any comments, please try to send them through. I'll do my best to read them before the show ends. And if it's your first time tuning in, this is the People Who Inspire series, PWI for short. And I try to come your way every weekend with another guest. And the whole idea and the whole purpose of this show is to draw inspiration and motivation from people who are on the right track to create an impact. A lot of times we give the platform to people who we deem to have arrived in life. But on the PWI platform, my sole focus is on the people who are on the journey. So I'm not looking for people who are necessarily well established or actualized in life. My sole purpose is to find people who are on the journey to create an impact, people who I think can be a source of inspiration to you and can motivate you to pursue your own dreams. So today I'm speaking with Victor, and I'll try to get backstage momentarily. So if you're watching, do not go anywhere. I'll get backstage momentarily to sort out the technical issue that Victor is having. So please stay tuned and do not go anywhere. Hi, Victor. Welcome back. Yes. Sorry for the technical issue. I'm sure that very soon we'll have some Galaxy satellites shooting internet, high-speed internet to Ghana, yeah, to make things more stable. I think we're talking about the space exploration and the vision that you have for sending Ghana to space. So, what at the stage that you are now, right? I know you did some balloon launching to space. Can you tell us a bit about that?
Okay, I think that was around April. I had some friends in Germany, so they are also in that domain. We've been communicating for a while. So we actually told them that we are working on a similar project here in Ghana, and we want them to come and also share their knowledge so that together we can do this. So I think that was Lucas, Rosa, and Natia. So they are basically in Germany and they came down here to
Oh,
also be
okay.
part. So they came down here for about 2 weeks. So they built it with our team, and together with the children we have at our community training.
And can you hear me, Victor? Okay, so I think Victor is frozen again. So, yeah. So if you're watching, this is the People Who Inspire series. I think Victor's, we're having some technical issues with Victor's connections, but hopefully he gets back again so that we can wrap up today's episode. So yes, Victor is a visionary. And for me, I always get fascinated by visionaries. These are people who normally have a certain conviction about a pursuit that usually is not understood by a lot of people. I always make reference to Walt Disney. So many of us today are excited about Disney World, Disneyland. We pay to go to visit Disney. But very few of us know that when Walt Disney had a vision for Disney World, it was completely ridiculous. People ridiculed him. In fact, a lot of people thought he was crazy to create this kind of fantasy wonderland, for kids and families. At the time, people thought that it was not possible. And there's this story that goes that on the launch of the first Disney World, I think at the time, Walt Disney had passed, so he was no more. And when the sword curtain was being done, the MC at the time mentioned in the opening address that he wished that Walt Disney could have seen the park and could have actually benefited or seen the fruit of his labor. And after that introduction, Walt Disney's wife was called upon to give a speech. And when she mounted the podium, the first thing she said that she wanted to make a correction to what the MC had said. Her correction was that Walt Disney was the first person to have walked through this park. He had this vision. He lived it every single day. So visionaries are always people who have a strong conviction about a pursuit, and that conviction moves them day and night. Usually what they share with the world seems ridiculous and it seems out of touch or out of place. But with the kind of passion that they normally have, they are able to see you through. Think about it. What if by 2030, Victor is truly able to send Ghana to space? So for me, this is crucial to have someone like Victor. So Victor, welcome back. I think we had a slight issue with the connection. So you're telling us about the balloon you sent to space and the support you got from some colleagues and friends from Germany. I think that's when the line got disconnected.
Okay. So that was way back in April. So we actually attached, there was this kind of payload called a condola, where we could have sensors and
Okay.
a camera attached. So where we had a helium balloon. Helium gas is lighter than the normal air, which could flew above the Earth atmosphere. So we had this thing. We programmed it in such a way that when it gets to 120,000 feet, it would actually burst and bring down the
Oh,
payload.
okay. 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 Okay.
So this
Wow.
um, at most 3 hours. So we did a simulation as to where the gondola or the payload will launch after the balloon has got burst, after taking pictures and videos in space, near space, in the Earth's stratosphere. That's about
Okay.
120,000 feet. That, that's really closer to space and satellite
Wow.
in lower orbit. It came down, then
Wow.
we went to where it fell, and we could access the information on the micro SD card. Then we accessed it. It's good because we could actually see the Earth as a globe. And some planets, and
Wow.
which
Wow.
was very nice.
Yeah. I
And
think
and, and
that.
from
Uh-huh.
next year we'll be doing a lot of balloon launch here at our site at Gumba Budumbura. Next year we'll be doing about 3 or 2 of them.
Wow.
So that
And
actually,
that's like my thinking is, why is the media, like you mentioned earlier, why is the media not picking such like important milestones up? Like, it's really interesting that, like, I had to, like, when you mentioned to me yesterday, then I went to your Facebook and then I saw some pictures of when, the team from Germany were
yeah,
mounting the
yeah.
the, the balloon and all that. I'm like, so why is the media, is it that we don't pay attention to like planetary science and like
Mm.
astronomy, or
I,
it's
th- I
it's
think I
anyway,
think
but that,
it's basically a new thing coming. So until it gains ground and people begin to show interest, what people love, that is where the media goes. So basically, it will take time, but we are not
yeah,
really
right.
looking at the media per se because we are engineers
Okay.
and scientists. So
Yeah.
we need to solve problems. For media, I really even doesn't like media attention. I just want to be at my place building things, putting things
Yeah,
together. And before they know, this guy has taken a rocket, is moving somewhere
exactly.
from Winneba and it is going up in the sky and say, hey, who is doing this thing over here? Who is taking Ghana to space and all that? So everything that I do,
Exactly.
mostly, I like silence because this one that we did, most people are saying, why don't you call the media people and no, 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 no. It's not really about the media. It's really about awareness. People really need to understand what is space science and all that. So that's it. Because this year is basically our year of space civilization, meaning that we are
Hmm.
creating the awareness and we are giving away 400 t-shirts, similar to what I'm wearing now, Ghana to space. So,
Oh, wow.
yeah,
Oh, okay.
yes. So we are actually giving 400.
Wow,
No?
wow, wow. Yeah, I can hear you, but I
Yes,
love the shirt. I love
basically.
the shirt.
Oh, oh, we could actually are doing this year. It's an awareness that we are creating. We want the Ghanaian public to understand what what is space and and and, and the benefit it
I think your
has
line is breaking a bit. So if you can hear me, there's
on
some
the
breaking in your audio, so I can barely hear you.
Ghanaian economy for the future to come. Uh-huh.
Okay, now I can hear you. Okay. I think the line was breaking a bit, so
Please
yeah,
can you
now
hear
I can
me?
hear you. Now I can hear you. The line was breaking for a few seconds, but I can hear you now. Yeah.
Okay.
So
Can you see me?
my maybe yes, I can see and hear you. My last bit of question would be the issue of sending like Ghana to space by 2030. So why 2030? Is there maybe some reason behind the timeline that you have given, or you are working towards that timeline because of some collaboration you have with NASA, some secret collaboration you have with NASA or something? Why 2030? Okay, so I think Victor's network is acting up again. So anyway, when he joins, I think he's trying to reconnect. So when he reconnects, can you hear me now?
Yeah, so by 2030, we had already put all our logistics, our engineering resources, and everything, training of those who will be going to space together. By that time, we had already
Okay.
all the necessary resources together to achieve this, and it's going to happen by 2030. It's, so we are
And
really
and
working
and
hard to really put this thing and make it happen. My
I
team and
believe
I.
I believe it will happen. Like for me,
Yeah,
it's
definitely. Because most people are worried. It's just a short period of time. Why not 2040? Why not 2050? How are you going to put the resources together? I think most of the informations are confidential that I don't want to really
yeah,
put it.
of course, yes.
But we are really, really working underground, putting things in place. People doesn't need to see rockets in town for them to believe that this thing is really going to happen. And we are really putting resources.
Can you hear me now? I think your line is frozen again. So I think for those of you watching, if you have any questions, if you have any inputs to the discussion of sending Ghana to space, and also maybe you have a word or two for Victor or a question for Victor, or maybe you want to be part of those who would be part of Ghana's space exploration program, please feel free to send in your comments and send through your inputs. I'll be happy to read them. And I think I have one or two. In fact, I think I have a comment that just came through from Phoebe Boateng. So yeah, Phoebe, I would read your comments once I have Victor also in the stream. I think he's having some technical issues. So Phoebe Boateng says, "Good evening, sir. Great session. Mr. Prince, I admire your open-mindedness." Thank you very much, Phoebe. So I appreciate the fact that you joined the stream. I know that today we've had some technical issues, but thank you for those of you who have stayed. And yes, so I think I have Victor back. Yes, awesome. Yes. So yes, Victor,
Sorry
you're talking
my
about the
internet.
timeline. No, it's
Yes,
fine. It's
so
fine.
we are really working really hard and making sure that this dream of taking Ghana to space, the first astronaut taking Ghana to space means taking manned mission, not satellite,
Okay.
but taking manned
Okay.
mission, Ghanaian soil to space.
Okay.
For space
I think
exploration and scientific research.
and like when I think of space exploration, maybe this would be my final question. When I think of space exploration, and let's say the average person also thinks of space exploration, there is this perception that, like, what really is the direct benefit to, let's say, for the average person who is walking around at KJTR or Makola, whatever it is? Like, can you share with us, right, maybe in summary, like what the importance of embarking on this vision, would mean for mankind, or for the average person in Ghana or the average person in Africa? Oh, I think we lost Victor again. So yes, I'm going to probably read a few of the comments that I have. Okay, I think we have Victor back. So let me know, Victor, if you can hear me. But yeah, if you are joining us, this is the People Who Inspire series, PWI series. And every week I try to find guests who are inspirational and who are on the journey to creating lasting impact, or doing something that pushes the frontiers of the status quo in society. So today we have had a conversation with Victor, and I think I have Victor back on the stream. He's telling us and sharing with us the vision that he and his team have to send Ghana to space by 2030. Yeah. So yes, Victor, yes, welcome back. So I was talking about the fact that the average person thinks of space exploration and is thinking, what is the direct benefit to society? Can you maybe summarize for us? This would be my last question. Summarize for us, what the benefit of sending Ghana to space would be for society, our society in general.
You see, Prince, you see, people need to be aware of where they are living. People need to understand that there are other worlds out there. There are other civilizations out there. So what it means to the normal people is that there is consciousness, awareness. You need to know the earth you are living on, that this world is not only the world that exists in this universe, in this galaxy, in this solar system. Even the solar system we are living in alone has the galaxy we are living alone has about 3 billion solar systems. Even just the galaxy,
just one.
Yeah. And if you see in the night sky, every star, there's our sun is a star. Every star you see in the night sky, when you look up there are other planets orbiting that star
around it. Yes.
Yes. Every star has a purpose of having a body, which is a planet evolving around there. So as you are looking at the star, some people are also looking back in time, either human species or other creatures. They are also looking at us from a distant, location in the galaxy. So people too are out there. We are not alone in this universe, in this galaxy. Please, I hope you are getting me.
Yes, yes, I'm getting you.
To understand that we are living on a small fraction of this universe. It's just like an ant. Our Earth is not even seen miles away. Yeah. So the ordinary person have to recognize the fact that we are all living on a small ball, spherical ball that has gravitational pull putting us on the surface of this earth. So it's just the awareness and the consciousness. That is all. Please, you understand? And in doing so, the simplicity of it is taking care of our earth, because climate change, climate issues is now everyone's problem. Yes. The plastic waste in our oceans, the what do you call it, the carbon, monoxide in the sky issue. Climate action is a serious thing. So once we become conscious about taking Ghana to space, we do some explorations, we discover this, how our earth looks like the ocean current moving lower than the coming up, sorry, than they used to be able to really come up with findings, and also having our own lab, our aerospace, what called space lab here in Ghana, to also conduct our own research and really educate the public about the dangers of some of the activities of humans that will endanger our earth, which will not
Yes.
stay for long.
Yeah.
So we will
Yeah.
have a lab here at our facility in Winneba in the near future, where we could
Okay.
also get information. It's not really about NASA. It's not really about ESA. It's not really about other. We should also have our own lab here in Ghana. That is what is
Yeah.
taking Ghana to space means. So that when there's an information,
Exactly.
when there's maybe an asteroid coming towards the Earth,
Towards, yeah.
yes, because that is what
We,
happened at the dinosaur age, the dinosaurs. It was an asteroid that came to us to really crash them and all that. And Lake Busumche was a
yeah.
meteor
Yeah.
that
It was
fell,
a
and
meteorite. Yeah.
all these things
Mm.
are just taking Ghana to space is all about. It's about bringing society on board, let them know where they are in the universe and their place here and their role to play as a nation to bring this type 2 kind of civilization to advance in human consciousness. Please, I hope you are getting me.
Yes. 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 For sure. And
Because for all
and
these timelines moving, the world is moving, digital age, where is human consciousness moving to? People are making robot, humanoid robot. Where is this taking us? What about if you are there and there's a comet or a meteorite just hits on our Earth? There'll
yeah.
be few survivors, and others would have
Yeah.
to leave Earth. So when you watch movies, it is actually playing to us what will happen in the near future.
Yeah. Those scenarios. Yeah.
Yes, those scenarios, because anything can happen. You see, right now the Earth is spinning very fast. I don't want to go into
Yes.
details of what I've
Yeah.
explained the phenomenon behind this thing. Because this where are you going to get the information from? On the internet from NASA? We also have to
Exactly.
get our own ways here where we could also analyze because we have the people here who have studied things like this. How can we bring them together and know that when you go to Noguchi and COVID-19 virus, they are also doing their sampling
Yeah.
there.
They also. Yeah. Yeah.
You cannot also rely on other nations for sensitive information like space, science, and
Yeah.
all that. So that is why
Yeah.
Galaxy is really working really hard to take Ghana to space, to also explore the universe and have our own telescopes and have our own satellites to really capture images so that when there's something coming, we can also analyze it here and tell the public that this is what is coming. So we should be prepared,
You
not
should be
really based
prepared.
on our mindset on a hand. The earth is spinning so fast, the days are now becoming shorter. And
Yeah.
also during
Yeah.
the day, there's some kind of cold. It's a phenomenon that
Yeah.
happens for some years. The earth is gradually moving away from the sun. And when it happens like that, during the day, you could even experience coldness and all that. It's a phenomenon I don't want to go. It will take so much time. And the earth is really moving so fast. Shorter days ahead. We are now in the month of August and all that. So all these things, where do you get the information from? You should get it from the right, from Galaxy. Yours, I don't know whether the government are having a space agency here in Ghana, but we in the private domain, we want to really champion this cause so that in all these scenarios and situations, we also be able to explain to people to understand what is really happening to our Earth from space and all that. That's what ordinary Ghanaian. And also,
and thank you for.
And there was
Please
one
go
thing I
ahead.
like to add that aliens are real. There are other creatures. And there are other worlds out there. One day they could easily invade us. Please, there's aliens.
Yeah.
Aliens exist. Other people live in other worlds. They built on their civilization. Civilization is talking about consciousness, building that kind of engineering, mega kind of thing to really go and navigate other parts of the world, the universe. So aliens are real. One day we'll just be here, and some people from other world have brought ships, and they are capturing people on this earth, and be like, "Hey, what is really going on? What are aliens? Who are aliens? What is going on there?"
And we don't have the means to even detect, all these planetary activities. There's a question I wanted you to, the last question that someone sent through before we go. This is from Oreku. He's watching from Facebook. He says, if awareness is key to this vision, then I'm still struggling with why Victor said it's not about the media. Isn't the media a good vehicle for awareness? So this is a question from Oreku.
You see, we are not forcing people to come and really capture us for us to tell
exactly.
And all that. We are scientists. We are not celebrities. We are not people who want attention. That is why we are even trying to live away from society and just get somewhere whereby we could really get closer to
you
nature.
Can focus, focus on the work,
But we are really open to the media. Anyone who shares our vision and also want to promote our awareness, we are welcome, because what we are actually doing is for the Ghanaian society and the future to come. It's not really about us. So
I think that's very important for Oreku. I think Victor's point is not that the media is not necessary. No, what he's saying is that at the point where they are now, the key focus is on focusing on the technical capabilities, and the vision is such that media or no media, they are still pursuing the vision. Right. So, and we know this because, in our society in Ghana, the media always gravitate towards the gossip, tabloids and all those things. So sometimes even getting, and I've experienced this, sometimes getting the media to cover a program that I've organized, sometimes you have to even pay them or something to kind of to kind of get them. So for me, I think it's in the right order. You stay behind the scenes and do your work, and then when the time is right, they'll come around. There's one comment from Sarah. Sarah is watching on YouTube. Sarah Abochi Master. She says, I believe that Ghana Space Science and Technology Institute will eventually become the Ghana Space Agency. Anyway, so there's a comment. It's not a question. It's just a comment from Sarah.
It's nice. And we also welcome them to really share knowledge and information. We are ready. Galaxy, we have our own way of doing things. I think the private sector really have to push things faster, because sometimes institutions really takes time to make decisions. So when you look at America like this, SpaceX is a game changer in America. SpaceX, Boeing, Virgin Atlantic, and Blue Origins. NASA is a national space agency, fine, but the private sector to also have to also pull a lot of ideas and resources to make this space thing in Ghana a boom. Galaxy, we are also looking for other people who could also join the industry, like what we are doing now, for the future to come. At the end of the day, it's for the future. It's generations to come. It's not really about Galaxy. So we are a knowledge sharing based team. We welcome everybody, and we'll also be willing to share our knowledge with the Ghana Institute of Space, and also get knowledge from them to promote these space ideas for the generations to come. So it's really not just like it's all about Galaxy. No, it's really about the future generations of this country.
And I like that because, like I mentioned at the beginning of today's session, that this is a vision that is multi or transgenerational, right? I mean, what Victor and his team have started is not about them. It's about the future civilizations that are going to benefit immensely from this. So I'd like to give you your final words, if you have any final words, Victor, as we wrap up.
All that I would say is that we want to give the future children who are coming hope by telling them that those pilots, those astronauts who are in them as they are growing up want to become pilots and astronauts. This is their time because Galaxy, we are not going away. We want to train pilots and astronauts here in Ghana for the future to come. And they should not be worried because the sky is not the limit, it's space and the edge of the universe. So we are here to inspire and build one of the greatest minds of engineering in this generation here in Ghana and for the future to come. So if you are a parent out there and your child wants to be an astronaut and has been worrying you, mommy, I want to become an astronaut, I want to become a pilot. Galaxy is here. You'll be trained here as an astronaut and you'll be trained here as a pilot so that together we can push this aerospace industry in our country for economic and national development.
And Victor, how do parents, for example, get in touch with, like, if they have kids who are interested in, astronomy or space science? Is there any number, website, or something like that?
They could actually go to Galaxy Aerospace Ghana. You should just type it on Google. There's a number there you can call if you want a space suit for your child. Galaxy has designed its own space suits that you could actually get to take pictures for your child to inspire them. And also a pilot. If your child wants to become a pilot, you can contact us. We have what they call the costume for that, because the generation of nurses, the generation of doctors and lawyers.
Same old.
Yes, same old. It will gradually be taken by robots. So for the upcoming generation, the pilots, the astronauts, we have whatever it takes to groom your child to become and keep their dreams in the future to really happen. So you can just go online to Galaxy Aerospace Ghana. We have contact over there 24/7. You could just contact us, send us a WhatsApp message that you want a costume for your child. You want your child to also partake in our program, so that weekends we will start running a webinar. You could actually get all these children on Zoom, be talking to them, be explaining the concept of space science and astronautics and aeronautics to them, for them to really understand what it takes to be an astronaut or a pilot, and also other careers that come in the industry. We have thermodynamics, we have avionics, fluid mechanics, and all that. You could actually go into that field and that area. We have the information and the resources to help every young person in Ghana, even the university graduates and all that, to really achieve their vision. And this is the time.
Wow. Thank you so much, Victor. And thank you to each one of you who joined us for today's episode. In spite of the little technical issues, we had a good time. I've learned a lot also from Victor. And Victor, I want to say a big thank you for coming on People Who Inspire. And my hope is that when the time comes for the story of Ghana to be told, 100 years from now, whatever years from now, your name will be there as the man who championed sending Ghana to space. I want to
add this.
Yes, please.
I think I have a number, so maybe you can put it out there.
Yes. Yes. So you can mention the number now. I'll type it.
054766 3946.
946. Okay, so I'll put it on the screen now. For those of you watching.
Okay, and let me.
So the number is on the screen.
Add this one that in December this year, we'll be showing some of our works, some of our engineering prototypes of starships, rockets, and also space shuttles here at our Guma Budumbu land site here. And we will also show real life rockets going up and coming to land. So for all the space enthusiasts over there, December is there to remember, you could actually come here at our land site. We'll put the date out there, and we shall erect about 3 rockets. Those ones are just prototypes. You could actually take pictures, and you have people wearing costumes of aliens, and also people wearing costumes of astronauts here. The kids will be here and all that, and also we also
Wow.
demonstrate about 10 minutes space rocket going up there about 25 feet and coming to launch on the ground
Wow.
like that for people to actually see. So,
Wow.
so
So, I
December,
mean, for those of you watching December, yeah, make a date.
yes, yes,
Make a
yes,
date. Please, I've put the number on the screen now. So for those
yes.
of you watching, it's +233 547 663946. +233 547 663946. Please reach out to Victor and his team, especially for parents who would like to enroll your kids into the wonderful program that he's running, and also for the December launch that he just referred to. Please try to make a date and call the number on the screen now to get in touch with Victor and the team. So, Victor, I would ask you to stay in the virtual studio as we wrap up. But for those of you watching, thank you, and I'll see you next week. Bye-bye.